NEC Section 336.2 addresses the use and installation requirements for tray cable, often referred to as Type TC cable. According to the section, tray cable is designed and permitted for specific installation methods, primarily within cable trays, raceways, or when supported by a messenger wire. The rationale behind these specific installation requirements stems from the need to provide adequate physical protection and support for the cable. Tray cables are constructed to withstand environmental factors and mechanical stresses encountered in industrial and commercial settings. However, without proper installation within a cable tray, raceway, or supported by a messenger wire, the cable is susceptible to damage from physical impact, abrasion, moisture, and other detrimental conditions. When installing tray cable, adherence to NEC Section 336.2 is critical to ensure electrical safety, code compliance, and long-term reliability of the electrical system. Installing tray cable without the specified support and protection constitutes a violation of the code and can lead to several adverse consequences. Firstly, the absence of adequate physical protection increases the risk of cable damage. This can result in insulation breakdown, short circuits, ground faults, and potential fire hazards. Secondly, improper installation can compromise the cable's ability to dissipate heat effectively. Tray cables are often installed in multi-conductor configurations, and proper spacing and support are essential for preventing overheating, which can degrade the insulation and reduce the cable's lifespan. Thirdly, code violations can lead to fines, penalties, and legal liabilities. Electrical inspectors have the authority to reject installations that do not comply with the NEC, and building owners or contractors may be required to correct the deficiencies at their own expense. Now let's delve deeper into each approved installation method for tray cable. Firstly, cable trays are a common and effective means of supporting and protecting tray cables, especially in industrial and commercial facilities where long cable runs are necessary. Cable trays are typically constructed of metal or non-metallic materials and are designed to provide continuous support for cables over their entire length. They are available in various configurations, including ladder trays, ventilated trays, and solid bottom trays, each offering different levels of support and protection. When installing tray cable in cable trays, it is essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions and NEC guidelines for spacing, securing, and terminating the cables. Cables should be neatly arranged within the tray and secured with appropriate cable ties or clamps to prevent movement and abrasion. Adequate spacing between cables is necessary to allow for proper ventilation and heat dissipation. Secondly, raceways, such as conduits and cable ducts, provide a high level of physical protection for tray cables and are often used in areas where cables are exposed to harsh environments or mechanical damage. Raceways are typically constructed of metal or rigid non-metallic materials and are designed to enclose and protect electrical conductors from external factors. When installing tray cable in raceways, it is essential to select the appropriate type and size of raceway for the application. The raceway must be large enough to accommodate the cable without overcrowding, and it must be suitable for the environmental conditions in which it will be installed. For example, in wet or corrosive environments, corrosion-resistant raceways should be used. Proper sealing and termination techniques are also crucial to prevent moisture or contaminants from entering the raceway and damaging the cable. Thirdly, messenger wires provide an alternative method of supporting tray cables, particularly in outdoor or aerial installations. A messenger wire is a high-strength cable that is suspended between 2 points and is used to support the tray cable along its length. This method is commonly used for overhead power distribution or communication cables. When installing tray cable with a messenger wire, it is essential to select a messenger wire that is strong enough to support the weight of the cable and withstand the anticipated wind and ice loads. The cable must be securely attached to the messenger wire using appropriate cable clamps or ties, and the spacing between supports must comply with the manufacturer's recommendations and NEC guidelines. In addition to the approved installation methods, NEC Section 336 also specifies requirements for cable construction, ampacity, and grounding. Tray cables must be constructed of flame-retardant materials and must meet specific performance standards for voltage drop, insulation resistance, and mechanical strength. The ampacity of tray cables must be determined in accordance with NEC Table 310.15b16 or other applicable tables, taking into account the cable size, insulation type, and ambient temperature. Grounding of tray cables must comply with NEC Article 250, which requires that all metallic cable components, such as cable trays and raceways, be properly grounded to provide a low impedance path for fault current. To further illustrate the importance of proper tray cable installation, consider the following examples. In an industrial plant, tray cables are used to supply power to various pieces of equipment. If the cables are installed without adequate support or protection, they may be vulnerable to damage from forklifts, moving machinery, or falling objects. This can lead to power outages, equipment downtime, and potential safety hazards. In a commercial building, tray cables are used to distribute power and data throughout the facility. If the cables are installed in a plenum space without being enclosed in a raceway, they may contribute to the spread of fire and smoke in the event of an emergency. This can endanger building occupants and cause significant property damage. In an outdoor application, tray cables are used to provide power to lighting fixtures or security cameras. If the cables are not properly supported by a messenger wire, they may sag or break under the weight of ice or snow. This can result in power interruptions, equipment damage, and potential hazards to pedestrians or vehicles. Therefore, it is crucial for electrical contractors, engineers, and inspectors to be knowledgeable about the requirements of NEC Section 336 and to ensure that tray cables are installed in accordance with the code. Proper installation not only enhances the safety and reliability of the electrical system, but also protects the investment in the cable infrastructure. In summary, installing tray cable without enclosing it in a raceway or cable tray or supporting it by a messenger wire is a violation of NEC Section 336.2. Tray cable is specifically designed to be installed in these manners to ensure proper protection and support. Violating this section can lead to physical damage, insulation breakdown, short circuits, ground faults, and potential fire hazards. Adhering to the NEC guidelines is critical to ensure electrical safety, code compliance, and the long-term reliability of the electrical system. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC and consult with qualified electrical professionals for specific installation requirements and interpretations. Proper planning, installation, and maintenance are essential for maximizing the performance and lifespan of tray cable systems. Firstly, always refer to the latest edition of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, for the most up-to-date requirements and guidelines on tray cable installation. The NEC is revised every 3 years, and it is important to stay informed of any changes or updates that may affect your installation practices. Secondly, consult with qualified electrical professionals, such as licensed electricians or electrical engineers, for assistance with complex or specialized installations. These professionals have the knowledge and experience to ensure that your installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. Thirdly, carefully review the manufacturer's instructions and specifications for the specific type of tray cable you are using. Different types of tray cable may have different installation requirements, such as minimum bending radius, maximum support spacing, and allowable ampacity. Fourthly, ensure that all cable trays, raceways, and messenger wires are properly sized and installed in accordance with the NEC and manufacturer's instructions. The support structure must be strong enough to support the weight of the cable and withstand any anticipated environmental loads, such as wind or ice. Fifthly, use appropriate cable ties, clamps, or other securing devices to prevent cable movement and abrasion. The securing devices should be compatible with the cable and support structure and should be installed at the intervals recommended by the manufacturer. Sixthly, maintain adequate spacing between cables to allow for proper ventilation and heat dissipation. Overcrowding of cables can lead to overheating and premature cable failure. Seventhly, properly terminate and ground all cable components in accordance with the NEC and manufacturer's instructions. Proper termination and grounding are essential for preventing electrical hazards and ensuring the safe operation of the electrical system. Eighthly, inspect the installation regularly for any signs of damage, wear, or deterioration. Promptly repair or replace any damaged components to prevent further damage or potential hazards. Ninthly, keep accurate records of all cable installations, including cable type, size, length, and location. These records can be helpful for future maintenance, troubleshooting, or upgrades. 10thly, provide adequate training to all personnel who will be working with tray cables or electrical systems. Training should cover the proper installation techniques, safety procedures, and troubleshooting methods. Understanding the specific NEC requirements for tray cable, particularly Section 336.2, is critical for safe and compliant installations. This section dictates that tray cable must be installed in cable trays, raceways, or supported by messenger wires to ensure proper physical protection and support. Ignoring this requirement not only violates the NEC but also increases the risk of cable damage, electrical hazards, and potential fire hazards. Remember, the NEC is a comprehensive set of guidelines designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. By adhering to its requirements, you can ensure the safety and reliability of your electrical system and avoid costly fines, penalties, and legal liabilities. It's always a good practice to stay updated with the latest edition of the NEC and consult with qualified electrical professionals for any specific questions or concerns.